Today on Suncoast View, it is Royal Wedding Week, and we're joining in the celebration with everything you need to know to have your own royal event.
What does one wear to the wedding of the year? Well, Suncoast designer Camlyn Beth is here with her fashions that are fit for a queen.
And the royal wedding dinner is incredibly elaborate. A Suncoast party planner is here to help us design our own. All that and more right now on Suncoast View.
Welcome to the show, and what a show it is going to be. A big warm welcome to Nicole Caney from NK Productions Wedding Planning.
Thank you.
Great
Thank you. Happy to be here. I'm so excited.
Great to have your artistic touch with us. Major royal upgrade for the week.
We thought we'd bring a little royalty to the set.
It makes you feel so elegant.
It does.
Yeah. Nothing a little bling can't make it more exciting.
Right.
I want a dress made out of this pillow. This is lovely.
To wear to the royal wedding.
A purse made out of this one. This
It's
is
all
amazing.
pearls.
Yes.
Well, and the texture makes such a difference. I'm sure that certainly holds true, you know, for live events, but for photography on camera to see the different, you know, feels of the sparkle and then the ornate gold. Is that something you're thinking about when you put together this kind of thing?
Definitely. It just adds an element of interest. So when you walk into a room and there's a little lounge grouping and you see some different textures and pillows and bringing in the gold elements, or if you have a more beachy, then they have, if you have more beachy theme, they have more beachy elements coming in. So this, we went very royal and beautiful, and so Stage created it, and they did such a good job. And we have the little crowns here on the side, which I love too.
Yeah, every detail certainly paid attention to. The swans,
We need
I thought,
swans.
were
that's so
absolutely
lovely.
perfect. So it's
Yes.
just something neat to think of. So Staged is a group that you're working with, of course, to plan amazing events and also affairs in the air.
They did the draping
Okay.
behind us. So
love
little
that.
transformation
Yes.
of the set today.
And we're going to talk a lot more about this as we talk about ways to incorporate this into our events. But you've mentioned that draping has become sort of essential for events. Because if you think about it, don't you remember going to look at rooms and thinking, oh, it's so blah. But that doesn't matter anymore to you because you can dress it up.
Right, definitely.
You do it so fast.
Yeah. Oh, they're super fast. It's crazy to see us set up. We had a setup this last week. We started a tent going up on Monday morning. The wedding was Thursday. It was during the week because the couple was from Europe. And we started draping on Wednesday, bringing everything to life, having a floor go in. So it could take days to do things, or sometimes this took like 5 minutes, and it makes a complete transformation.
Oh,
It's
it does.
fascinating.
And you and your team are so calm. That's what I love. I mean, I'm imagining, you know, I'm every Monday I'm hyper. And it's like when you're dealing with people, either their wedding or these big events, that everything's so important, and there's this tendency to get nervous, and you all are just, you're professionals, you come in, you do it, and it's perfect.
We like being calm. It helps everyone. It helps the bride, definitely. And we have great vendors that we work with. So it's all about your vendor team. You know, and then we have elements that come up, like love bugs this last week as you're setting.
Did
and
you
there's
have something outside?
We did. We had 5 events
And what
outside.
can you do? I mean, virtually nothing about a love bug.
You can't do a lot, but luckily they all go away at sunset, and most of our
yeah,
events
good
don't
point.
start till after sunset. So we were affected setting up. It wasn't the best. But then once sunset happened, guests had no idea, bride and groom had no idea,
good.
and we just put on our smiling faces, and nothing ever happened.
Otherwise, you have to bejewel a fly swatter and carry it around.
Oh yeah.
They come in piles.
Yeah, and we just had such incredible weather too, so everybody wanted to be outside so much.
Right.
But you know, that's the magic of planning too.
All right, well, I
They
hope
walk in,
there's
it's all smiles.
I hope there's no big events in your world for about the next 48 hours because we have an endless amount of rain outside.
I know. No, we're good. We love rain during the week.
All the things event planners have to worry about, but just
Right.
so wonderful to know that you can transform anything. And we love how Nicole is able to show us that right here on our set. Okay, well, the look is certainly a big part of the event, but equally as important is the food. So we knew exactly who to talk to about that. Chef Jeremy from Innovative Dining Catering, not only a top chef, but also a little British background never hurts.
A little British background. I'm actually originally from Scotland, but
You get lumped in, I would assume.
well, yeah. But I lived in London for a long time, so my Scottish accent's kind of disappeared.
So how are we celebrating the royal event with you in the kitchen today?
Well, we're gonna do a seared lamb loin with minted new potatoes, pea puree, and a little bit of jus. This is very Cornish. Prince Charles is the Duke of Cornwall, and in the previous royal wedding, they used a lot of farm-to-table stuff from Cornish farms. So we're sort of following that theme.
Would this be your choice if you were in charge of the menu?
I mean, obviously, I think that there's probably going to be a couple of options.
I'm sure.
I'm sure they're going to have some form of fish as well, maybe cod or sea bass or something like that. But yeah, absolutely. It's nice, simple, easily put together. And for catering, you don't want to get too complicated, you know, and too many components.
And it has to stand up to time.
Exactly,
I know as well, and that's very important.
Yep.
Okay, good. Well, we're glad you're here. We can't wait to celebrate royally with you as well. So we have the set, we have our lovely food, and something that you don't think about until you see the pop of colors they add, the importance of flowers.
Oh, flowers are so important.
Now, will flowers be more understated in a royal event, or are they, because I know often here in Florida they are huge and you know, elaborate. How does a royal event include flowers?
Oh, I think it's going to have a lot of flowers.
Yeah.
I mean, flowers are so, not that flowers are trendy, but we're just seeing more and more flowers at weddings. So there's such a focus of them. They never go out of date. You're always going to look back and look at your wedding flowers and feel like it was timeless. So I think that we're going to see a lot of flowers.
And how do you, as an event coordinator, then work with a florist? I mean, obviously you have to have space in your grand scheme for an elaborate display if that's something the bride wants. Is that something you then talk about?
Yeah, we do a whole design concept with our clients from start to finish. The bride's dress definitely sets the tone. So we look at her dress, and some brides are incorporating flowers into actually wearing them. Some wear a floral crown. Nice. We've had bridesmaids recently wear floral crowns, and it's really cute, or little girls too. This last weekend we had a wagon because some of the babies, they were too small to walk for the ceremony, and the whole wagon, actually So Stage did that, had flowers all over it with the florist that created that.
Oh, how cute.
So we're pretty much putting flowers everywhere we possibly can right now.
And it's a little different with Florida because once again you have to think about how things hold up.
Right.
I had a beach wedding and I remember literally choosing my flowers based on the florist's recommendation for what won't wilt in heat.
Right.
And I thought, okay, that's all that matters is that they stay fresh. So lots of different things to think about here in Florida.
Yeah, we definitely want them to come out as pretty as they start.
Right.
So, yeah,
And for the
6
royal
hours
wedding,
into it.
I'm excited to see the flowers because then you'll see how it influences other people's weddings as it goes on, right? Because you're like, oh, I want what Megan had, or I want what Megan had changed slightly. So it's always fun to see where it'll trickle out.
I wonder if she chose her flowers, and if she's doing the details.
That's a good question.
I hope so.
I hope so too.
She's a little more down to earth, I think.
Yeah,
so
I mean,
maybe.
she may be entering royalty, but it's still your wedding.
And a girl likes to do those things. She likes to have flowers that mean something to her and colors that mean something to her. And she's going into a very structured system now.
Yes, yes.
But I think this has kind of been her job, right, for the past few months, is to work on this elaborate affair. So hopefully she did get to have a good vote.
Hopefully she has a good team.
I'm sure she does.
I would suspect she does,
Yes.
but we'll be watching with a careful eye, that's for sure. Lots to look forward to this week. It is time for our first hot topic, and Manatee County has some great economic news. For the 7th consecutive year, Manatee set records for visitors and their spending. The number of tourists up 5%, direct expenditures up more than 9%, as is total economic impact. Spring training crowds have boosted these numbers, as do planning and attending destination weddings. No secret there. How much destination wedding traffic do you see here with us?
Oh, we see a lot.
You mentioned Europe just last week.
Oh yeah, they came in, so our clients came in from Belgium. They could get married anywhere in the world. They picked Sarasota. We did events with them from Sunday to Friday. So we did 5 events.
Wow.
Of their 50 closest, they flew in and they brought down. And
They
it was,
flew in all the people too?
It
So
was
they had no
amazing.
tie here.
They have a home here.
Okay, just because
Yeah,
they
and
love
they
it.
love it. And really just talking about Florida and how amazing it is to get married here. The weather we had this last week, it was incredible.
Right.
No one was hot. They were at the beach during the day. We had amazing events for them at night. We had kickoff parties. We had everything.
How
it was
fun.
so fun.
I'm happy to see Manatee County really like getting some great credit for this and their growth. We were driving last week and I noticed, I can't believe I missed this, there's a huge Embassy Suites that is coming in, or maybe it's Embassy, but it's going to have a rooftop bar right
Spring
in
Hill.
Spring Hill.
Oh,
It's going to
yeah.
have a rooftop
And
bar.
that's actually Oak and Stone that's putting in the rooftop bar.
that's
So
amazing.
right in
Can't wait to
downtown
see that.
Bradenton.
Yes.
At the old Pink Palace?
And what's the old Pink Palace? I don't know what that one is.
Maybe that's the half.
It's right on the waterfront, and I've said this before, but they keep proving it again and again that while we're working down here in Sarasota to do what we're doing, they're like the little engine that could, and they're quietly building and building. It's not so quiet anymore.
It's sort of an an explosion,
Yes,
really.
No,
yes.
absolutely.
And
Well, the
close
Gulf
to-
beaches for the weddings, you know, those people need someplace to stay. And I'm sure they want someplace with their own waterfront view because there's only so much space out on the barrier islands.
Right.
So it makes sense to have more building than in town
And if
and
you're
bring
coming
Yeah.
to visit here, the first question people always say is, where can I sit? Where can I sit on the water? Where can I sit and have a meal on the water? And they've got it right there with their riverfront.
Yeah,
so
it's
good
very
for them.
smart.
Oh, it's beautiful, too.
Yeah.
It's just amazing to me to think that people choose here from
Yes.
Belgium and then bring everybody
Yes.
with them.
Yeah.
I mean, what a great economic impact that can have. I mean, for decades.
Oh,
you know?
Sure, sure.
It's not something that changes. So
It makes me so proud. Both my children got married on my back porch on the bay.
Yeah.
So how lucky were they?
exactly. Well, love is in the air for this royal wedding leak. So if you're looking for love, maybe you try Facebook. We use it for everything else. The social media site will soon have a dating feature. See what you think about this. You would get connected with someone you aren't already Facebook friends with. You could strike up a conversation based on things they've liked or events that you are both interested in. So it's a matchmaking thing. In this new feature, you would then be able to connect with the person after they saw the similar interests, and it's set to launch later this year. Do you see anybody using this?
This is brave of Facebook. I have to say, after that data breach, I think that they should be doing everything they can to look like they are keeping your information private. There's some
Not
damage.
sending it to randoms.
Yeah.
There's some damage control I think that they still need to do, and so to now launch this other feature that we're going to take your data and try to do more things with it is
And
is
find someone
risky.
for you.
Yes, very, very risky.
And do you ask for that? I mean, is it going to ask a question to say, would you like a suggestion on someone you might want to meet? Because
So they'll say to me, do you want a man?
you're going to tell them it has to
can
be under
check yes
40.
or no.
I know you.
Well, I mean, I've always used that people you may know or suggested friends feature.
do too.
And
Yeah.
a lot of
Yeah.
times they're correct. It is someone like, oh,
Yes.
I kind of do know that person because it's a
Right.
friend of a friend. They have their algorithms. But
Right.
again, I think this is not a good move. And if this was maybe something they were planning before the data breach, which maybe it was,
I bet it was, yeah.
hold off on it for a little while and just
Right.
get the public's trust back if you can. That's my 2 cents.
All right, we'll see what happens. So typically a wedding is all about the bride, of course, as it should be. But this Alabama bride was willing to share the spotlight a little bit with another bride-to-be. So the bride's brother proposed to his girlfriend during the flower toss at the reception. Now, this was done with the blessing of the bride, and it was a carefully planned reception schedule. So you can see she delivered the flowers because, ma'am, you will no longer be single if you say yes. And the bride's brother went down on one knee. The bride said this made her day more meaningful. What do you think? Would you share the spotlight?
I wonder if the bride-to-be knew, if the girl who's getting proposed to
No,
knew.
she didn't. That was a complete
Oh.
surprise to her.
Right.
Why
But
did
I
she
like
have said no? That would have ruined the
That
whole
would've
thing.
changed
Well, I would
reception.
assume do you see this kind of thing? To me, I thought it was really cool, but then, I mean, it does take away from the bride's moments.
We don't. I mean, everything we do is so planned, but if the bride's happy, then that's really all that
if
matters.
it's like a
but-
fun entertainment thing for
Yeah.
everybody.
Well, or maybe passing the torch to knowing there'll be another family wedding coming up. I
As
mean,
long as it was
love's in the
planned,
air.
right? I mean, this is the lesson
Yes.
that you should never kind of surprise the couple at their reception.
or the planner.
Yeah, or us, right? We
Yeah.
like to be we have a lot of surprises that we do.
I was going to
like,
say, have you been surprised though? Do couples pull the wool over your eyes accidentally for
no,
to tell you?
they tell us.
They tell
but
you.
we are the holder of a lot of secrets. Always fun things though, like fireworks coming or a surprise entrance or a surprise guest. So we know a lot of things, but yes, please keep your planners in the loop.
Do you ever have a real bad surprise where you have to keep the guest out?
No. I mean, sometimes weather elements are happening and you have to say, okay, we're doing cocktails now rather than doing something you should be doing. But guests don't ever know anything like that. But they're always fun
You
surprises.
can't surprise the planner. What if you have a Dove release and then someone else is doing fireworks? And that could be a
Yeah. We like to know everything.
Yeah, I'm sure. All right, here's a wedding trend you probably won't see at the royal wedding, although it is an English-based group. It's called a wedding wonderland, and they rent out bouncy castles, literally, for weddings. Now, this was obviously for guests who may want a little more excitement at their reception. You know, I love a good bounce house,
That
but I don't
wouldn't
know
be my
about at a wedding.
excitement. No.
But I mean, it is cute.
I like they draped it. Element of drape.
They dressed it up.
And flowers. Yes.
Still plastic
it is
and rubber.
It is pretty classy.
Maybe
bounce
they're
house.
too immature to get married. Yeah.
You'd be sweaty in Florida. That would be my concern.
For pictures,
Yeah.
I think that would be fun for pictures. But you know what? Maybe maybe they met in a bounce house, or maybe their life is just bouncy as
Maybe
it is.
you have, I mean, I had 5 kids at my wedding since all 5 were mine. You know, I mean, that would have probably helped my world to have a bounce house. Yes, instead they were throwing balls off the balcony. So Jeremy may remember. You know, you can only keep kids entertained for so long.
See, a bounce house wouldn't be a bad idea
Yeah,
at that
it
point.
depends on the situation. I do not judge. All right, we're going to check in with our happy hour forecast and then how to decorate for your own elaborate event. You're going to love what you see.
Good afternoon. I'm Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan with your first alert weather update. Flood advisory has been issued by the National Weather Service for parts of the Suncoast, Manatee County specifically, extending through central portions of Manatee County. You can see that all the way into Hillsborough County. Tough driving along I-75 all the way up to Interstate 4 as a result of some tremendous amount of rainfall that's occurring right now. Get a look at all this kind of spinning around an area of low pressure which is trying to develop into a tropical or subtropical low right now, drawing plenty of moisture in. These showers and storms have just popped up within the last half hour, so you'll see that again, that heavy rainfall now moving in a north to northwesterly direction, kind of circling around this area of low pressure, and then these showers and storms just kind of firing up and increasing in intensity. So those are the ones that are going to bring heavy rainfall now, already starting to do so in Siesta Key. This is the area that is under the flood advisory that you see with the heavy rainfall. Rainfall rates up to 1.5 inches or more, sometimes 2 inches an hour. These are tropical rains, and they can cause some.
Royal weddings are full of protocol and precision, especially when it comes time to sit down for the formal wedding dinner. However, you don't have to have a fancy family history to create your own elaborate event. Our guest host, Nicole Caney, is here to give us some elaborate ideas that will work right here on the Suncoast. Nicole, you always outdo yourself here. So you have actually kind of recreated what you anticipate the royal wedding dinner could look like.
This is our interpretation. I think that I love Meghan Markle. I think she's fantastic, and I think she has amazing style. So I think she'll do something a little bit of a modern edge with still traditional. So we have this beautiful color, which is the kind of a violet, which is the color of summer. So I think that's really beautiful. It's still traditional, but then this velvet material, I think, makes it feel a little bit more modern.
These linens are beautiful.
I know, you just kind of want to keep heading the table. It's so pretty, but we're seeing this also, this velvet, we're seeing it a lot of different things too. We're seeing it in home trends, couches, furniture. So I think it's just a little nice way to bring it into a wedding.
And is that okay here on the Suncoast? Because I know this is a heavier fabric, if you will, even though with our climate.
I think with the color, it's okay. I wouldn't do this probably any later than this month, though, but I still think it's a little cold in England right now, so I think they can get away with it.
But if you were planning a fall event or a winter event here, you would be able to look at this.
And I think early spring as well. And then the traditional gold elements, too. I think that having the flatware.
Let's talk about that on the place setting here, the gold.
So we have US Temp provided some beautiful plates, chargers, and so Stage did this gold flatware. We're seeing gold flatware all over. So we're seeing it a lot. It's a really nice interest level of your table, and it just balances so pretty against the violet. And I think the plates make it feel a little royal, a little extra. But we do this at a lot of our weddings, so it's not something uncommon that we would see at our weddings here.
So just so brides know, you can rent chargers like this. You can rent any level of exquisite dining ware.
Yeah, we can rent so much. It's amazing what we can do. We do show tables for all of our clients. So before the wedding, we bring in different elements. So we bring in linens, chargers, tables, flowers, and they get to see everything. So at one show table, we might have 10 different chargers because there's so many different decisions to make.
Right.
And we talk about everything. We talk about your plates, your silverware, all the different elements to make it your special day.
It just makes you appreciate when you do sit down to a wedding table, all the detail and all the thought
Pay
that goes
attention.
into it.
Yes, pay attention to everything.
Dew on my flower. How in the world did
It is. There is this gorgeous
It
dew
makes it
on
feel
the
so
flowers.
natural. Victoria Blooms did the flowers, and she
How do they do
she
that?
did a
That's
beautiful
amazing.
job.
Let's talk about the flowers. How, is this what you anticipate would be at the royal wedding?
I do. I mean, there's these beautiful peonies that just came into season, so I definitely think we'll be seeing those. I think we'll see a lot of different textures. I personally think we'll see low and lush. I don't see her doing a lot of high center pieces. I think we will see more low, but very, very full and very lush. So
Very intimate.
this
like
is what I think.
Linda and I can see each other, and
Yes.
I would be able to see someone across, and I like that.
And you can also appreciate each of the blooms too.
Absolutely, because you can see them all.
And lots of textures now. So we're seeing a
Yes.
little bit less greenery than when we did in the past. Still some, and there's some really
Well, there's
interesting
lamb's
greenery.
ear in here. Yeah, there's fuzzy flowers. The
I
Yeah.
fuzzy
didn't know
leaves.
that was lamb's ear. Oh my, I'm impressed.
I think this is very English garden too. So
Yes, it is.
Now, there's a lot that you can do with chairs, which I know sometimes even, when you think about the number of chairs that are going to be in an event space, it really does change the look. Talk a
Right.
little bit about how you can use chairs at the table.
So this is a Napoleon chair that So Stage owns, and if anyone is a Downton Abbey fan, which I am, every wedding there, you see this chair. So it's a very traditional chair.
Wow.
We use it a lot now just for something a little bit more interesting. The back is really romantic and really soft. And then we still see a lot of Chiavari chairs, which we've always seen, but they come in different colors now. So you can see them in clear and white, gold, silver, and then acrylic is huge. I didn't do anything on this table with acrylic, but we see the ghost chairs. If you've seen
yeah.
those, you
Oh,
also
yeah.
see those
Sure.
in your house too.
Yeah,
right.
We use
Yeah.
those at weddings all the time.
Yeah, I wouldn't think they would do that at the royal wedding. just
I don't think so.
Because it's so modern, yes.
But they would
But it is
do-
beautiful.
They would do some bling, and let's talk a little bit.
yeah.
The drapes are beautiful, and they really, different from the drapes that we have on the other set.
Right.
Talk a little bit about these.
Well, this just creates another element of interest. So this is a little bit more fun drape. So I don't know if she would do something this fun, but I thought it would be really neat to see today. Behind it is just a plain gold, so maybe we would see something like that at the royal wedding. But I thought that the element that Affairs in the Air did of the extra bling was really pretty for today.
Absolutely.
yes.
So if a bride or anyone goes into an event space, and they should consider that the walls, the color of the walls, don't always have to dictate their decision.
Oh yeah, we can change so
And I
much
never
and make
knew
it feel more
that.
custom and unique. Yeah.
So really all that matters, because they always say the venue's so important. All that really matters is the location of that venue.
Right,
Because
yeah.
you can sort of transform the rest of it.
And we're transforming everything. We have some photos coming up, and you can see what we've done with the beach or tents. We really do transform so much. Now, some of our weddings take 3 or 4 days just to do an installation. So we had flooring to tents. We just do so many.
It's
so many
amazing
fun
that you
things.
recreate these intimate settings outside and in all of these different atmospheres. It's beautiful. This is how you feel like a royal. For more information about how to throw an elaborate party or event of your own, you can see more of Nicole's work at nkproductions.net. All right, coming up next, we're going to take a look back at royal wedding memories. You might remember a few of these weddings.
Tonight on ABC 7 News at 7.
John's trying to protect his school. He's trying to protect the kids. And in this day and age and the heightened awareness that they had that day, how can it become a criminal charge?
A Brookside Middle School teacher charged and placed on administrative leave for allegedly grabbing a student. Was he in the wrong? I'm Alan Cohn. We'll discuss. Meet me at the trapezoid.
Tonight on ABC 7 News at 7. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
I heard about the Detoli Cancer Center through friends of mine who had been treated here and were very pleased with the treatment.
If there is prostate cancer, we at the Detoli Cancer Center will find it using 3D color flow Doppler ultrasound.
And that helped precisely identify where my cancer was and some additional cancers that were not found during the biopsy. I would recommend the Detoli Cancer Center. As a group of human beings, they are unbelievably great.
Since 2004, Embracing Our Differences has used the power of art and education to promote diversity. One way it accomplishes this is through its annual outdoor exhibition of 45 billboard-sized works of art, each accompanied by an inspirational quote. Join us in creating a community that is inclusive for all, where differences are embraced and individuality is celebrated. We invite you to celebrate the voices and visions of diversity and inclusion at this year's exhibit at Sarasota's Island Park.
If you're looking for the perfect trip that allows you to spend quality time with a family, then discover the great outdoors on an Alabama Black Belt adventure. Create unforgettable memories while hunting, fishing, or biking and hiking. Or play the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail, now celebrating 25 years. And while you're here, enjoy the flavors of the Black Belt. Book your adventure at our lodges or stay in the Renaissance Montgomery Hotel and Spa. Start planning an Alabama Black Belt adventure today.
Soldiers in the Army National Guard live up to a set of time-honored principles.
I will always place the mission first.
They stand ready to respond to any crisis. I will never accept defeat. They serve in their communities as citizens and as soldiers. I will never quit. They train part-time to be ready to serve at all times. I will never leave a fallen comrade. Learn more at NationalGuard.com.
Welcome back. We are enjoying our gorgeous royal set because it's all about pomp and circumstance. And the pomp and circumstance of a royal wedding, of course, goes back centuries. But few of us will forget the day that Princess Harry's mother, Diana, became the Princess of Wales when she married Prince Charles. It's fun to look back and especially remember, for those of us who are old enough to remember, it has been called the wedding of the century. The event was filled with such elegance and excitement. Linda, I don't know what your story will be, but I remember actually sleeping on the couch with my mom to get up, because this was well in the day before we could record anything or DVR or anything, to watch the wedding. It was a Wednesday morning here in America, July 29th, 1981. But the crowds, the dress, the little girls, what do you remember? Did you get up and watch?
Oh, I was working in LA at the time, so I was on the news and we were talking about, I remember
So
talking
it would have
about
been
the
night
wedding.
in LA. You actually would have still been up.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And it was a big, very big deal there. And we had a great audience. So it was the kind of thing that people are going to be watching, so we want to be there for them watching. So it was a great thing. And who would think I would be here for her son's wedding? Yeah. So this is really awesome. And although they had a bad marriage after that, you know, she had wonderful children. And she raised these boys so well.
She was known as a very good mother, and I think you can see that with the sons.
So maybe the point was that she would have these children that would go on to carry the crown. We've all been watching The Crown on TV. So maybe the point in that was that Diana would be a great mother and produce these wonderful sons that would carry the crown forward.
Did people love her before she married Charles?
Well,
because I know they loved her after.
Yes, she was sort of a school teacher.
I was going to say, nobody knew her.
Yeah, she was like all the rest of us, and he just picked us regular, normal. She wasn't even that beautiful until she got a little older, but she was just one of us. And we were all pulling for her.
And I think we're seeing that again. I mean, you know, Meghan does not come from royalty as the stories continue to surface, and that's okay. You know, Harry chose her because it's her. And I think we all love that. Well, and of course, Kate Middleton's wedding, not that long ago, 7 years, April 29th, 2011. They just celebrated their 7th anniversary. Now, her dress was from the fashion house Alexander McQueen, and of course, much of the chat is always about what dress and what designer will the brides choose. Kate's train, around 9 feet long, that's in major contrast to Diana's, was 25 feet long. And Diana talks about feeling that whole day like she was simply being swallowed by, you know, the pressure of the event and the dress. I think it was almost all too much for her. I think Kate did such a good job of making it so much more modern and manageable, if you will. And I think we expect Meghan to do the same.
Oh, this is so exciting. Because what will she do?
Oh, I can't wait to see what she's going to wear.
At least 2 dresses, we're also told. So
wow.
fun is that, right?
And of course,
and we see that here too, right? 2 dresses.
Oh yeah,
we
see it quite a bit.
Yeah,
something more for the reception after the first dance.
I was hoping for a big reveal.
Yeah.
You know, whip one off and there's another one underneath.
All right, well, remember the big royal wedding, of course, coming up this Saturday, May 19th. Coverage begins at 5 a.m. right here on ABC 7, and we'll talk more about all that goes on. But if you're trying to get a little more sleep, the actual ceremony is at about 7 Eastern Time. Coming up next, what an honor. We get to meet a Suncoast resident who got to meet the Queen.
Did you know you could get life insurance for less than 32 cents a day? With guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance through TrueStage, you can get up to $25,000 in protection with a single phone call. TrueStage can help free your family from immediate financial stress when you're gone.
Utility bills, mortgages, car payments, those are a lot of things that can add up pretty fast.
And even if you're on a fixed income, prices fit your budget, starting at less than 32 cents a day. Plus, your price will never increase and your benefit will never decrease. And with no medical tests or health questions, you cannot be turned down for any reason. Call 1-800-842-7189. Now, for a free, no-obligation quote, TrueStage offers plans to fit your budget. Help protect your family from immediate financial burdens after you're gone with guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance through TrueStage. Call 1-800-842-7189 now.
My credit score was not that great.
I didn't understand what went into my credit score.
It was overwhelming.
Do you want to attain better credit health but don't know where to start? Credit Sesame can help by providing you a free credit score.
I love the app. It's so easy to use. It's like having your own financial coach.
Credit Sesame broke my credit score down into things that I understood, and it made me think, I can do this.
And the awesome thing about Credit Sesame, it's free.
It's 100% free.
You don't need to go it alone. Get started today at creditsesame.com.
My name is Julius. I have cerebral palsy. I work for Farmer Jeffrey Weising Law Firm. I do a lot of data entry and scanning documents. I want to increase my working experience to make the company much better. At the end of the day, it's good to think of the day's work and to think about what I have accomplished.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to abilitieswork.employflorida.com.
That is a pretty good breakfast. You're not even eating.
Not hungry.
No? Why not? What's up?
Kath and I knew that Jenny had been partying a bit. Found out she tried heroin.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
A promise was made, a promise that hit the beaches of Normandy, a vow that captured Iwo Jima, a contract that weathered Tet, a pledge that stormed the desert in Iraq, an IOU that braved IEDs in Kandahar. A promise was made to America's veterans. DAV fights to keep that promise, so all veterans and their families get the benefits and support they earned. For help, visit DAV.org.
Welcome back to Suncoast View. We're going to check back in with Chef Jeremy from Innovative Dining Catering. And Jeremy, I know you do so many elaborate events right here on the Suncoast. What kind of trends are we seeing with catering and dining choices right now?
Well, what we're seeing earlier on, Nicole was talking about the Gulf Coast being a destination place for weddings. Recently we've done a Russian wedding, a Vietnamese Indian wedding, a Latin influenced wedding.
So with the cuisine to match?
Yeah, so with the cuisine to match. Okay. So, and even people who are locally from here, I think that people's palates are generally getting broader now. They're getting a little bit more adventurous.
Right, well that makes being a chef more fun then.
Yeah, exactly. So so we sort of specialize in customizing all of that kind of sort of stuff. So I see a trend towards that rather than the sort of more cookie cutter type thing.
Good, no more chicken. We'll be happy to see that.
I mean, recently, and then you have the specifics of like sort of people who are concerned about like the health side of food as well, which is becoming more prevalent as well. So recently we just did a wedding for 400, which was all gluten and dairy free.
Oh, wonderful. Well, there's nothing you can't do, and that's a wonderful thing. All right, we'll join you in the kitchen in just a little bit.
Okay, awesome, thanks.
Linda?
With the royal wedding coming up on Saturday, Queen Elizabeth is very involved in the festivities for her grandson, Harry. Her royal subjects and almost everybody else in the whole world will be watching her every move, wondering what she's really like, and wishing for an opportunity to actually meet Her Majesty face to face. Well, we have two people right here on the Suncoast who have had that pleasure. Paige Dame met her in Sydney, Australia, and Father Charleston Wilson from the Church of the Redeemer met her on a trip to England. Now, they're both from the Church of the Redeemer because we called to talk to the father and we got Paige. And he said, I've also met the Queen.
What are the chances?
Yes. So how did you meet her?
I met the Queen when I was living in Sydney, Australia, back in 1980, representing a large American bank, and it was when she and Prince Philip were making a state visit to Australia in the month of May, and it was announced they were going to do a walkabout in Sydney, coming down Martin Place, which is a very wide, down-sloping thoroughfare with broad sidewalks on both sides. And so about an hour and a half before the start time, I walked over from my office to Martin Place, got about halfway up and got a place on the rope line. But of course, I didn't know which side, which royal I would get.
But you were hoping for the Queen.
I was hoping for the Queen. And there were office buildings on both sides, and the windows were open and people leaning out the windows, a great deal of excitement. Waited quite a long time. Had to do that to get the place I got. And then applause started throughout the whole of Martin Place. You could hear it rolling and thousands of people. And this large black Rolls-Royce limousine pulled up at the top of Martin Place with the Royal Standard on top. And they got out, the Queen and Prince Philip. And I was thinking, I want the Queen. And I got the Queen.
Oh.
She came over to my side and started slowly, very measured pace, walking down the sidewalk. She had two plainclothes security people in front of her, two behind her. She was wearing a sort of a light, dusty, powdery blue, a big, broad hat, and the thin suede gloves up to her elbows. And she walked very carefully at the same measured pace. Everybody had their hands stuck out, of course. She shook a few at random, and I was thinking, well, I don't know. When she gets close to me, I'll just do my best. And she got close to me, and she looked, and we made eye contact. And I gave her a very broad smile, and she walked over and shook my hand and said, "Thanks for coming out."
Oh my goodness.
And so,
if you'd had your camera, you could have done a selfie.
that's exactly right. 38 years ago. And she kept on walking, but the cheering from the windows of the office buildings and the throwing of confetti and all the applause, it was really, it was a thrilling moment.
Well, now tell us how you met her, Father Charleston.
Well, I've long admired the Queen, and my mother is an Anglophile, so I sort of inherited it from her. And I have a friend who, she has what they call an ecclesiastical household. It's a fancy word for she's got a lot of clergy around her to take care of not only her needs, but the needs of her various staff. And he was appointed as a chaplain to Her Majesty. And he can invite one person a year to a tea party at Buckingham Palace. And he chose me. And I was delighted. So it was just a year ago, went to Buckingham Palace. So I was invited.
Just a year ago. And so you actually got an invitation to the tea.
Invitation in the mail with a big stamp, Elizabeth II. On it, and from the Lord Chamberlain's office.
Oh my, did you have to follow certain rules at the tea party?
I was told, well, I can't say that I've kept all the rules, but I was told about them. I was told don't take any pictures. I did take one little sneak image of Her Majesty. I was told what to wear. I was told what gate to enter, when to exit, and where to stand. And and unlike when you and I have a party, and we arrive first, right? And all the friends come over and we're waiting. Oh no, not that way with Her Majesty. All the guests arrive first. Then she comes in to God Save the Queen, and we all stand up, and she enters.
Oh, what was she like?
Well, first of all, in my mind, I had this, because I've so admired her. I remember a book that it was The Queen and the King whom she serves, a great book of her faith. And then, so in my mind, I'd really created her as this giant. Well, in fact, I'm short. I'm only 5'6". She's 5'2". She could get in my pocket. I mean, she's just tiny. So the first thought was, she's really small. And then she stood for 3 hours in high heels without ever sitting down.
Wow.
Wow, she's a strong woman.
Very strong. And of course, she had the purse. But she stood the whole time. All of us were seated and had long since exhausted our knees. She never missed a beat.
Oh, wow, what an experience. And of course, there's a close tie between Church of Redeemer and the Church of England. And we're going to be hoping that we can all get a glimpse of the Queen at the Great Wedding. Meanwhile, we're going to see fashions fit for a Queen from a Suncoast designer.
ABC 7, the Suncoast's official Florida lottery station.
Rugs as Art. You know the name, you know the building, but do you know what's inside? Yes, Rugs as Art is Florida's #1 area rug superstore. But there is so much more. Amazing furniture, accessories, and art. All this and more. Come see for yourself. You'll love our personal touch and be pleasantly surprised by our affordable prices. Rugs as Art and more. There is so much more to explore.
This is an ABC 7 News Update.
Good afternoon, I'm Jacqueline Matter. Here's what we're working on for 5 o'clock. An update on an Inglewood woman accused of killing her wife, why she's been declared incompetent to stand trial. Plus how some downtown business owners are working together to bring more shoppers to the area. Now let's get a check on our first alert weather forecast with Bob.
A low pressure area in the Gulf of Mexico continues to bring heavy showers and thunderstorms across Florida and, for that matter, right across central Manatee County. Now moving into Longboat Key as well. You can see that tremendous amount of rainfall extending north of Tampa all the way down into basically Manatee County. But these showers and storms starting to develop just over the last half hour, and they're all kind of pinwheeling around this area of low pressure off into the Gulf of Mexico. You can see some of that rainfall heavy now along I-75 near State Road 70 all the way up to State Road 64 into Parish. Some flooding there going on. Also to the west of that, some showers developing out in the Gulf. Ward 5.
Get breaking news alerts focused on the Suncoast. Download the ABC 7 News app.
Is your mop a dirty, disgusting mess? You need the Hurricane 360 Spin Mop System, the only mop and bucket that spins the dirt away. A system that cleans practically anything and everything with super absorbent microfiber. Dip it in the washer side and the mess releases into the bucket. Then place it in the dryer side and push on the pedal. You get a clean mop head that's practically dry and ready for more. And your hands will never again touch a dirty, disgusting mop. The heads are washable and reusable. Get the Hurricane 360 Spin Mop System for just 2 payments of $19.99. You'll also get a Sticky Buddy, the reusable sticky roller that picks up pet hair and lint and washes clean in seconds. You can take advantage of our 2-for-1 Pick It Up special and get a second spin mop set. Just pay additional shipping and fee. And we'll upgrade you to free priority handling. So don't wait. Order now.
Call 1-800-394-1524 to get your Hurricane Spin Mop double offer. So hurry and call 1-800-394-1524. Call now.
The royal wedding is an incredibly formal event, and wedding guests are expected to follow certain etiquette rules, especially when it comes to what to wear. Suncoast designer Camelin Beth joins us with fashions fit for any royal and formal event. Well, thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
So when we're talking about a British wedding, you know, I know that a lot of the clothing rules have fallen away, but this is where we want to revisit a lot of them, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. So pretty much the biggest thing is to make sure that your shoulders are covered. So a dress like what I'm wearing, I would have to wear a little pashmina over it for the ceremony, you know, especially if it's going to be in a church setting too. The second thing is to make sure that the length is appropriate. You don't want to go too high above the knee. So usually about an inch above the knee is the shortest you could go.
All right, so a little bit longer on the dress and covering the shoulders. I think a lot of people on the Suncoast are going to be upset because that's predominantly their wardrobes here. But we're really revisiting kind of the British traditions.
Exactly.
Now let me ask, it's always about the ladies, and it should be, but for men, I know if you're bringing a guy to a wedding, the first question is always, do I have to wear a suit? Do I have to wear a tie? What is it like for a British wedding for a man?
I would highly suggest, yes, very formal. You know, you want to be dressed to the nines, dressed to impress, and I think that definitely includes a nice jacket.
Yes, if there's ever time to button up, then we should do it.
Yes, very conservative.
Yes.
Yes.
Let's talk accessories for the ladies. Now, I know that Nicole is wearing a fabulous hat.
Yes.
What do we do for hats? What do the ladies do? Small, large?
Well, you know, we just came off of the Derby season, so I mean, it's not going to be quite as elaborate, a little bit more toned down. So something like what Nicole's wearing is a little fascinator that we sell, and it's a great little headpiece. You know, if someone was sitting behind her, they could still see, and it wouldn't be blocking. Yeah, it's very chic and kind of fun way to dress up a British wedding.
I like it. Now, do we take that off at the reception because we would be indoors? What are the rules there?
You know, it's totally up to you. I think you kind of can leave it on though.
Okay, because I think you build your hair into it.
Yeah.
Let's look at Nicole's outfit, actually. So, Nicole, would you take a step down so we can take a look? Would this is one of your dresses. Would this be appropriate for the British wedding?
Yes, absolutely. So she has a nice sleeve here. This little detail is great.
You're not done yet.
So this is a perfect dress to wear to a British wedding. Her arm is covered with a nice detail on the sleeve, and it's appropriate length. So this would definitely be a great dress.
And a muted color.
Yeah, I was
muted
gonna
color.
say,
Yes.
I couldn't go in black, right? It's
You know,
just
typically,
out.
yeah, you
Yes.
don't want to wear black or unfortunately red, but you know that's
You and I
that
did
style dress.
Which is different than here, because
yeah.
Nicole looked at both of our outfits
Yeah.
and said, "Oh, those are perfect for
Yeah.
Suncoast weddings."
Right. Yeah,
but a little more
definitely.
muted.
black?
I think you can wear. Oh yeah, we see a lot of black at
Oh,
weddings.
really?
Absolutely.
The big rule is everything but white.
No
Right?
white.
No
No
white.
white.
No white. No
No
cream.
white cream. Right.
Yeah. But a style like that would be perfectly fine.
Because my
though.
shoulders are covered.
Yes, absolutely.
Very
So she could go to the wedding.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just not in red.
Not with
Not
the
in
red.
red. You know, I'd have to pick a different cami color.
Yes.
Well, speaking of a different cami color, you brought a model. Let's bring Chelsea
Yes.
out. This is another one of your designs. And tell us a little bit about what Chelsea is wearing.
So Chelsea's in the nudist dress. This is called the Luna, and it's in the royal blue color, so perfect for the royal wedding. And this one is appropriate length, and it has a sleeve, so it works really well.
And it's got the ruching in front so that a big royal dinner won't be a
Yeah.
problem.
Yes, all about hiding. Yes.
Now let's talk jewelry for a second, because I see Chelsea's earrings, yours as
Yes.
well. Talk a little bit about what we could expect for earrings.
Yes, so pearls are always a great accessory to wear to a wedding, and we have some new earrings in the studio that are a play off of the typical pearl, so they're more like statement pearl earrings.
And is that okay? It's okay to have a little pop like that, fun
Yes.
with the jewelry?
Yeah, absolutely. Have fun in the jewelry, and you know, it's a great way to spice up the outfit.
Well,
so.
certainly here on the Suncoast
Yes.
too, where we're a little more laid back.
Yes.
Thank you, Chelsea.
Yes.
Great cut.
Now, I have a question for you, just quickly. Now, Megan, I know Megan has been known to break some rules, so do we think that she's going to be following all of the formal rules of the wedding?
I think she'll probably, you know, want to play it a little bit safe, but I think we'll be surprised. I think there'll definitely be some things that we might see that aren't typical British, that, you know, she'll bring that American flavor to it.
But she doesn't want to make the queen mad.
Yes.
I read the queen insists on leg coverings at all times,
Yes.
pantyhose. That would be very hard for Suncoast women.
Yes, and no wedges too, right? No wedges.
She does not
no
like
chunky
wedges. She finds
shoes.
them clunky and unattractive.
All right.
Oh my.
Well, if you get an invitation, you know what not to wear, but you also know what to wear. And if you would like more information about these fabulous fashions designed right here on the Suncoast, you can go to Camel and Beth's website, camelandbeth.com. Coming up next, more on when you can watch the wedding live right here on ABC 7.
Excuse me a minute. Hi, Dad. No, don't try to get up.
Hi, I'm Julie, a right-at-home caregiver. And if I'd been caring for Tom's dad, I would have noticed some dizziness that could lead to balance issues. That's because I'm trained to report any changes in behavior, no matter how small. So Tom could have peace of mind.
We'll be right there. We have to go.
Hey, Tom, you should try Right at Home. They're great for us.
The right care, right at home.
I heard about the Dotoli Cancer Center through friends of mine who had been treated here and were very pleased with the treatment.
If there is prostate cancer, we at the Dotoli Cancer Center will find it using 3D color flow Doppler ultrasound.
And that helped precisely identify where my cancer was. I can tell you that you will not find a finer, more professional team of clinicians anywhere in the world.
This is an important message for anyone with Medicare. You may be eligible for an all-in-one Medicare plan that combines hospital, medical, and prescription drug coverage together with extra benefits that may include dental, vision, hearing aids, and much more. Some of these plans have a $0 monthly premium regardless of your income. That's right. For one low plan premium, or in some cases a $0 premium, you may be able to get coverage for your hospital visits, doctor appointments, prescription drugs, routine dental care, eyeglasses and contact lenses, hearing aids, and possibly more. Today may be the first time you've heard about this type of Medicare plan. The advisors at the Medicare.com helpline are licensed insurance agents who will explain more when you call. Call now to see if you qualify. Call the number on your screen now. Call now to see if you qualify for these benefits. You worked hard for your Medicare. Now is the time for your Medicare to work hard for you. Not affiliated with or acting on behalf of any government agency or program.
Here we go. We're gonna go out there in the rain. It's gonna get wet. All right, here we go. Okay, quick. Oh yeah, yes. so much fun. Mwah.
Hi, I'm Janelle Hale, founder and CEO of the National Breast Cancer Foundation. No one should face breast cancer alone. When I was diagnosed 36 years ago, there was no internet, and I had to make a decision with little information. Early detection saved my life. It could save yours too. To learn what every woman needs to know about breast cancer, visit nbcf.org/hope.
Mark the calendars. Saturday, May 19th, ABC, of course, will air live coverage of the royal wedding. Coverage begins at 5 a.m. Eastern Time. It will go to 10 a.m., and then Good Morning America will follow that. So there's going to be all sorts of amazing events. The actual ceremony will be around at 7 a.m., and the whole week involves royal themes, including 2020 coming up. We will talk more about all the different ABC events, but don't forget to set the DVRs if you don't want to go up early. It will be a royal event. All right. We have a royal event coming up in the kitchen. We're going to join Chef Jeremy from Creative Dining Innovations.
Check out mysuncoast.com/dining, your guide to the foodie lifestyle.
If you're looking for the perfect trip that allows you to spend quality time with the family, then discover the great outdoors on an Alabama Black Belt adventure. Create unforgettable memories while hunting, canoeing, camping, and more. Or challenge yourself on Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail, now celebrating 25 years. And while you're here, enjoy a Deep South dining experience. Book your adventure in one of our members' lodges or stay at the Renaissance Montgomery Hotel and Spa. Start planning an Alabama Black Belt adventure today.
This is an ABC 7 News Update.
Hi, I'm Scott Dennis. Here's what's coming up at 5 o'clock. The Booker High School graduation ceremony is set for this week. Tickets, the hottest in town. Why they're so sought after this year. In First Alert traffic, we're seeing a crash at the intersection of US 41 and 13th Avenue in Bradenton, but is slowing traffic just a little bit in that area. Now over to Bob again for a look at our weather.
Well, we have a weather advisory in effect, Scott, right now for flooding taking place into central Manatee County as a result of some training going on there, meaning showers and storms going over the same place repeatedly, and that's in effect until 5:15. You can see that from the radar review, all that activity moving north. Wow, big heavy rain along I-75 all the way up to Interstate 4, and then more showers developing in the Gulf of Mexico, which will all move onshore over the next couple of hours, especially into Manatee County, and that includes Bradenton, Palmetto, all the way up into Ellenton. We'll have much more in our forecast coming up at 5. See you then.
ABC 7 News at 7, weeknights.
Peterson Toyota of Sarasota offers hundreds of models to choose from. And now you can take your shopping experience to the next level with SRQ Plus. You'll love its added benefits exclusively at Peterson Toyota of Sarasota or toyotaofsarasota.com.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help with Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. Custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories. Custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sonny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.
The following message is brought to you by Mesobook.com.
People who have been diagnosed with mesothelioma have many questions. How did I get this disease? What are my treatment options? How will this affect my loved ones? You need answers, which is why we offer a free book written by medical professionals who have treated mesothelioma.
Call toll-free at 1-800-777-1366 or go to Mesobook.com.
My credit score was not that great.
I didn't understand what went into my credit score.
It was overwhelming.
Do you want to attain better credit health but don't know where to start? Credit Sesame can help by providing you a free credit score.
I love the app. It's so easy to use. It's like having your own financial coach.
Credit Sesame broke my credit score down into things that I understood, and it made me think I can do this.
And the awesome thing about Credit Sesame, it's free.
It's 100% free. You don't need to go it alone. Get started today at creditsesame.com.
Soldiers in the Army National Guard serve to give back to their country and communities.
Their part-time commitment qualifies them for an array of benefits, such as affordable health and life insurance benefits, education benefits, including tuition assistance, student loan repayment and GI Bill programs, a retirement plan based on part-time service, and VA home mortgages. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more about all the benefits available in the Army National Guard.
Here's today's job of the day. ABC7 is seeking a part-time media controller to manage various stages of video on-air content playout. General computer skills are an absolute must. Visit mysuncoast.com/job-of-the-day to apply.
Coming up Tuesday at 4 on Suncoast View, our Royal Wedding Week celebration continues. We'll get party planning hints and great gift ideas from Just Because Boutique on St. Armand's Circle. Right On Sarasota talks trends in invitations for any type of event. Venice Theater previews their end of the school year family musical, Stuart Little. Plus, Brick's Smoked Meats joins us in the kitchen.
Welcome back. We're here with Jeremy from Innovative Dining. What are we making?
We are making a seared lamb loin with a pea puree and some potatoes that are confit in a lot of butter.
Oh, yes. So, and Kerrygold, of course, because
it is
needed to be appropriate.
Yeah, exactly. So what we're going to do is we're going to have you guys season that lamb and pop that in the pan here. And we've got some onions sweating in some butter over here. And if you want to put a few little sprigs of thyme in there.
Okay. You ready for me to put this in?
Absolutely.
Like
go ahead.
This?
Yep, just like that. There you go, and you put it in the right place.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, when you put a piece of meat in the pan, normally the pan is not completely flat. You don't want to drop it where the oil is.
Ah.
Okay. Okay, and then when it's in there, then I'll move it over to where the oil is, like this, and I'm going to turn it evenly as we go along. Over here we've got one that I did earlier, which we're going to use for plating, which I'm going to stick in there. So you put the thyme in there. And we've got some more butter.
I see that.
and some sweet onion. And we're going to add some peas to this, like that.
Okay.
And then we're going to let that simmer a bit with a touch of chicken stock. Okay?
All right.
Like that, yeah. You have to watch out. It does pop a little. So, and then we start to turn it. And as you turn it, you're going to cook it on all sides. It's going to take maybe 7 to 8 minutes.
Okay. That's pretty quick for lamb.
Yeah, it's
Very
pretty quick. Well, it's coming from the rack here. So essentially, we've taken the loin off. Okay. On the left-hand side of an 8-point rack, you have the sirloin, which is this piece, and then on the right-hand side, you would have the ribeye. So when you go to a steakhouse restaurant, and you have a bigger steak.
Right.
That's where your ribeye and your sirloin come from. So we're going to bring this up to a simmer like this, and then we're going to add a few fresh mint leaves in here, because mint and lamb and peas go wonderful together.
Good spring menu.
Yeah, and then we're going to add a touch of arugula to this as well, and depending on how spicy you want it. Because there's a mustard element to arugula, so it's a little bitter. You can add a little, I mean, it's really to taste. You can sort of experiment with that. So now that this is simmered, it really doesn't need to cook for too long. You're just going to wilt the leaves down. And then once they've wilted, we're going to put it in your favorite kitchen contraption.
I love NutriBullet.
Okay, so why don't I move this over here?
Okay, I'm going to let you do the transfer.
Oh, yeah, okay.
You do the transfer.
Okay,
I want to see how he hits it.
I was just going to say, he's going to do better than I was.
I'm spilling it all over the place.
Now you know why I made him do it. It looked dangerous to me.
Well, I was going to use the spoon, but then I thought...
Hey, here's my quick PSA for NutriBullet. No, I don't work for them. If you've never wanted to invest in one of those big, huge... commercial mixers of these can do anything. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh, absolutely.
Just in smaller scale.
Yeah. Typically in the commercial kitchen, we use something called a Vitamix.
Sure.
But
they're pricey.
Yeah, they are pricey. They're probably $400 or $500 for a nice one.
And you can get one of these for $100. It can do the greens. It can do kale.
Yeah.
It can do frozen. It can do ice.
So I'm going to move that off there for now.
Is that enough?
And then turn that off, and turn that off, and turn that off.
Good.
Like that's perfect,
okay.
Absolutely perfect. And then you can open the top up, like that.
Or not.
Or not. And when you open these, be careful.
steam.
Yeah, you basically want to open it slowly.
Oh, it smells amazing.
Like that.
No, it's the heat from the hot pan. Remember?
So we'll start the plating process. So
Okay, I'm going to scoot this over.
Scoot that over, and then you can
right here?
pop that in the middle, and then
Okay.
you're going to put a couple of spoonfuls of the pea puree.
Circles in the middle?
You can go
I'm not an artist.
go crazy, however you like.
Whatever the queen would like.
There you go. Look at that.
Sort of going to be an X here we're making?
We have an artiste in the kitchen here.
All right. I gave you an aisle for your potatoes.
Okay. And then we're going to put a few of these potatoes in here.
Okay.
Which are confident in some of that butter. And then
Just a little butter there.
Just a little butter. And then we'll cut the lamb across the grain. Like that.
That looks good.
And then
That is gorgeous. All right, we are plating the seared Cornish lamb loin with Chef Jeremy from Innovative Dining. A gorgeous catered dish, which is, of course, a meal fit for a queen, or perfect right here on the Suncoast as well. Love it. Thank you. Nicole, what a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you to all of your vendors as well for helping us get our Royal Celebration Week kicked off. We're going to be here doing this all week long. Take some time and enjoy the Suncoast view.